Class 9, let's continue the chapter number 11, the atmosphere. In today's class, we are going to read about the structure of the atmosphere. So, various structures are there which form the atmosphere. For example, troposphere, stratosphere, exosphere, mesosphere, and ionosphere. So, let's start today's class. Let's start with the troposphere, which is the lowest layer of the atmosphere extending just above the ground. So this is the ground level and the troposphere is just above, and this is the lowest layer of the atmosphere extending just above the ground, right? Okay, this layer contains about 3/4 of the total molecular mass of the atmosphere, practically the entire water vapor, all particulate matter, and most of the carbon dioxide are contained in this part. Most of the carbon dioxide, all particulate matters, water vapor, dust, all are found in this troposphere, this layer, troposphere, right? So most of the weather phenomena are also in fact confined to this troposphere. All the weather phenomena, thundering, lightning, raining, and your condensation, evaporations, all that happen in this troposphere, weather phenomena. So temperature in this layer falls at the rate of 1 degree Celsius per 165 meter of height. So that is 6.4 degrees Celsius per kilometer with increasing height. So the 1 degree Celsius, when we go up and when we cross 165 meters, there is a fall in temperature at the rate of 1 degree Celsius, right? Okay, so with the increasing in height, there is decreasing in temperature. So this fall in the temperature is called the normal lapse rate, right? So this fall in temperature is called normal lapse rate. So the height of the upper limit of the troposphere is about 18 kilometers. So the height is about 18 kilometer only, right? At the equator, and above 8 kilometer at the poles. At the poles it is 8 kilometer, and at the equator it is 18 kilometer. The upper limit of troposphere is called the tropopause. So upper limit, the upper extent, upper limit is known as tropopause, and we called it, we can say it's that's the boundary, right? So at this boundary, tropopause, the fall in temperature with increasing height stops at that end, at that extent, at that tropopause, right? So after that, at that boundary, at this boundary, at the tropopause, the fall in temperature with increasing height stops there. Okay, now next is stratosphere. Let's talk about the stratosphere. Now stratosphere, this layer extends above the tropopause. So after tropopause, which layer starts? Stratosphere, right? So the most important characteristic of this layer is the uniformity in the horizontal distribution of temperature. So the temperature is uniformly distributed in horizontally it is distributed, and there is uniformity in the temperature. So this layer has no water vapor and dust particles. So this point is to be noted, underline. This layer, stratosphere, there is no presence of water vapor and dust particles. So air turbulence and clouds are absent, and due to the absence of weather disturbances, this layer is considered ideal for flying jet aircraft. So this is very important point, underline. There is no water vapor, right? That layer does not contain water vapor and dust particles. Thus clouds are absence of cloud, and there is no air turbulence. That is why, due to the absence of this weather phenomena, weather disturbances, this layer is considered ideal for flying jet aircraft. Clear? Okay. So this layer contains most of the atmospheric ozone layer, ozone that absorbs the UV rays, that is ultraviolet radiations coming from the sun. Due to this, the temperature rises. Due to this, the temperature rises with increasing height, it rises from about minus 80 degrees Celsius at the tropopause to about 0 degrees Celsius in the upper part of the stratosphere. The upper limit of stratosphere is called stratopause, and that's the boundary where the stratosphere finishes. And it is about 50 kilometers above the ground. So you can see the demarcation here. From ground level to 8 kilometer and to 18 kilometer there is troposphere, and from ground to 50 kilometer above there is stratosphere. So this is the extent of stratosphere, and stratosphere is very important layer of the atmosphere. Now, why this stratosphere? This layer is very important because in this layer there is a presence of ozone layer. So that ozone layer that absorbs the UV, harmful UV rays coming from the sun. That is why this layer is very important, right? Now let's come to the next layer, that is mesosphere. So the extent of mesosphere from the ground level is, its limit is up to 80 kilometer from the ground level, right? Mesosphere. So mesosphere, the air density is quite, the atmosphere here is less dense, quite we can say low here, density of atmosphere is low. And as in the case of troposphere, this mesosphere, in this mesosphere there is increase increase in temperature with the decrease of height, or vice versa. That means increase in height, there will be decrease in temperature, right, in mesosphere. And the upper limit is, there is a upper boundary of this last limit, that is known as mesopause. Okay, now thermosphere, that consists of, means thermosphere is divided into two layers, ionosphere and exosphere. Let's talk about the ionosphere. This layer is located above the mesosphere and extend up to 600 kilometers above the surface. This layer derives its name from electrically charged particles. We called it ions. That is why it is named as ionosphere, right? Ionosphere reflects the radio waves back to the earth, thereby making radio communication possible. So this is very important phenomena, or very important of this part of this ionosphere. Ionosphere reflects the radio waves back to the earth, thus making radio communication possible. The ions present in this layer absorb solar radiation, UV rays, leading to an increase in temperature with the increasing height here. So in this layer, with the increasing height, there is increase in temperature, right? This is due to the ions presence in this layer. Ionosphere absorbs solar radiation. Now next is exosphere. This is the topmost layer of the Earth's atmosphere. Here the atmosphere is highly rarefied form, and the atmospheric pressure is extremely low. The pressure is low, and the density of the atmosphere is also rarefied, very low, less. The normal gas laws cease to apply at this height. The upper limit of exosphere is uncertain. So there is no upper limit of exosphere, as this layer acts as a transitional zone between the Earth's atmosphere and the interplanetary space. So it acts as a transitional zone between Earth's atmosphere and the space, planetary space, right? Heating of the atmosphere. Solar radiation is the basic source of heat and light for the Earth. So we know that Earth does not have its own light, and it gets heat up and it gets light from the sun. So that's the solar radiation. So solar radiation is what? Is the basic source of heat and light on the Earth. Now let's talk about insolation. What is insolation? Insolation is that solar radiation which comes in the form of short waves in the atmosphere on the earth's surface, right? So insolation is in the what, it's the incoming solar radiation. That means that energy comes from sun, and insolation is in the form of short waves. So the point to be noted here is, as the insolation enters, as the solar radiation enters the atmosphere, a part of it is reflected means it reflected back, another part is absorbed in the atmosphere, and the remaining reaches the earth's surface. So that's the insolation, right? So whatever the solar radiation enters the atmosphere, only few part, or only a part is absorbed in the atmosphere, and only few reaches the earth's surface, and a part of it is reflected back to the atmosphere, right? Okay, now. Okay, children, I'll take your leave now. See you in the next video. Thank you.